after his death, you have somebody who is on the apex of the movement as such.
Yes, yes.
Who is...
Prabhupada appointed a governing body commission. A governing body commission of about 25 people who are looking after the running of the Krishna conscious movement all over the world. So I am one of them. And I am overseeing Moscow, Leningrad, in India, in different places, along with some other people. We are 5 of us who work in...
5. Yes. Out of 25.
Yes. But we also work in other parts of the world.
Yes, understand.
And so I spend 4 months a year traveling in this country. And with me there is one other devotee, 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐚𝐜, who works here. And then there are other leaders in different parts of the world. But in this country, our movement has expanded very, very much.
Yes, I have heard about it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know exact figures, but I have heard.
Actually, now our movement is the biggest in your country. It's the biggest in the whole world.
Biggest?
For us, for ISKCON.
Out of the Krishna consciousness movement?
Yes.
Yes, I'm very surprised. It is more than in Canada, United States, United Kingdom, more.
It's much bigger now.
Oh, where is it? So now this main base of the movement is here.
No, the main base is everywhere, but the people are... Actually, you are very famous in our society.
Oh, I know. I am a scientist, atheist, etc., only Indologist. How can I be famous?
I'll tell you why.
Among devotees, a person who doesn't believe in God, who is an atheist very strong. And I'm 69, so I can't change.
That's okay. But you have some special mercy of God on you because you had the opportunity to meet our spiritual master, Bhaktivedanta Swami.
Very long.
You met him in
1970. Interesting talk. Very long talk for 2 hours.
You see, all your talks with him have been published in our books.
I know, you see. But, there is a saying in Russian, you see, it is bad to speak something bad only about person passed away. But this interview was made without my control. That time situation, political situation was very difficult.
I know, yes, now.
And you know very well that time Krishna consciousness movement was looked as CIA sponsored movement from Canada and Chicago.
Yes.
And frankly speaking, I took a lot of risk of meeting.
Are you the one who invited Prabhupada? You invited him to Moscow?
No.
You did not invite him?
No, because I couldn't invite what was...
No, your institute?
Personally, no, also institute not invited. Because Academy of Sciences, who could invite Academy of Sciences, like Presidium or Institute, but nice institute, not Academy, never would that time invite a religious leader. Because practically some religious leaders were invited to Soviet Union on political grounds, but all this was through Peace Committee.
Yes, it was all controlled by...
movement, Peace Committee, only that. But he was invited, in fact, he was invited by Embassy of
India.
Embassy of India. And how he could get visa? Embassy of India will get nothing. So I am to inform you very truth. So he was invited by Embassy in India, and then I was telephoned personally from Embassy of India by one of the secretaries. He has come with his followers. He would like to meet you. Okay, fixed up day, next day, and but very interesting. There was not a single Indian. There were about 12, 15 young people, followers, but all of them were Canadian and Americans at that time.
Where did the meeting take place? In your office?
Yes, in my office. in the old building. Now our institute is situated, it is called Рождественка, ex-Ždanova Street, it is in very center. But at that time, our institute was situated Armyansky Lane in a very old house when before revolution was housed institute also Oriental languages sponsored by Armenian trading community in Moscow. But we shifted from that institute in 1987 but that old building took place in my office room.
We would like to take a photograph sometimes of that room where Prabhupada was talking to you.
Yes, this can be done very easily. The only thing we are to have permission from Armenian embassy, because now in this house is being hosted Armenian embassy and Armenian cultural center. If they would permit, I may ask. But if somebody will go with me, I shall ask them, request. Maybe they will agree. That doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe they have replanted it. I don't know exactly. Maybe, but I'm not sure.
Let's say Sri Ram Das.
No, Sri Ram, that is your name. Name means
spiritual name. Spiritual name.
Yes, you are right. Yes, but coming back, because when he came, and it was very difficult political times, I asked that this would be very private. We shall not notice nor record. But somebody from his followers recorded without my knowledge. And then some years after,
we published them.
I have already one of my pupils, Indologist, Professor Rybakov, who was studying, reformatory movements in Hindu religion, late 19th century in India. He was in India traveling, and then he discovered this small booklet in Russian. So he brought me. I was astonished. But the only thing is that they recorded, okay, and then it was in English. And then it's translated because this booklet I'm in Russian. I never seen original English. If you would supply me with English original, because I may tell that the contents okay, there was no distortion, so I have no complaint. But frankly speaking, the translation from English to Russian that time was not very good one, a very crude Russian. But it looked like that was not a Russian person translated, but somebody knowing Russian.
But
so if you like, you are to make new translation.
I have another, Dr. Kotovsky.
Yes.
I will arrange to get you the original tapes of your conversation with Prabhupada.
That would be very interesting.
I will arrange to get that for you.
That would be very kind of you.
But at least I think we can present this book with his...
We can present many books to you, to Dr. Kotovsky.
Especially because with his own interview.
Yes, sure.
If you would present this one in English version.
Okay, English version.
Is there English version where this... discussion was
it's not mine. I can show you, but it is not my own English version.
Okay. Otherwise, Dr. Kotovsky, we will get you one. No problem. I'll arrange I'll arrange to get you one. But I will arrange to get you the original cassettes.
That would be really
I was telling you why you're very famous. I just got a call from one of the devotees and from Paris. I told him I was just in the meeting with Dr. Kotovsky. He said, that Kotovsky.
No, but
everyone knows it.
Just French and Paris would laugh at me.
No, they won't. You see, I had come to your country in 1976. I was sent by Swami Prabhupada here, and I came in suits at that time, and I was trying to see you. And I spent about 2 weeks at the Institute of Oriental Studies.
But why you haven't met me?
I met you. I met you in 1976.
Yes,
Yes,
maybe, because I see something familiar in your face.
No, I met you in 1976.
Yes.
But at that time you were not too interested. At that time.
Absolutely.
So, but you know who I met? I met Professor Levin.
Bongard Levin.
He gave me a review. Of course, at that time, frankly, there was so much of, if I may say, influence of government sources and all, through various agencies, that everything was controlled.
Yes, quite right.
And I know Professor Bernard Levin, he spoke to me, he gave me a very nice review on our books. But then when I went to meet him on Monday, he gave me the review on Friday. When I went to meet him on Monday, he said, "Can you show me the review I gave you?" So I showed it to him. And he just kept it inside and said, "My boss says I can't give it."
That's quite
Where is he now? Bernard Levin?
Bernard Levin, he's in Moscow. He just returned from Paris. I was in Paris for 2 months.
You speak a little French?
Yes.
Did you spend a long time in India?
Oh, yes. But I never was in India for a long time. For the most 3 months, no more. But in total, I first came to India in 1956. In December 1956, first visit. The last visit was last year. I was 1.5 months with my wife, who also is an ontologist. She's a specialist in Indian theater, in Indian performance arts.
I wish
and
we
she
knew.
She's big boss because she is director of Russian Institute of Fine and Performance Arts.
Moscow. Even now she's director?
Yes, she's director. She's director for long years. Yes. So we were together, invited by Indian Council Social Science Research. That is my counterpart. Yes, and this was my 34th visit to India.
34th.
So I was in India 34. I traveled all India from north to south in villages. Now when I grew old, it was difficult for me to go to villages, because Indian village life is difficult for an European.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I was traveling and was visiting and living in many villages, so grassroots. I have many friends in India.
I also regularly meet Professor Kalyanov in Leningrad.
Kalyanov. Yeah. No, now he's very.
Yeah, I've been to his house many times.
Yes, Kalyanov. One of our oldest Sanskritologists.
And also there's another professor in Leningrad. He's teaching name starts with B. His father was also Indologist. Baradnikov. Yes,
in university.
Yeah, his father was also...
Yes. Academician Baradnikov, who translated this Ramayana, Hindi Ramayana.
Yeah.
Not Valmiki Ramayana.
Now you're completely retired?
No, I'm not retired.
You look very active. Look very healthy.
I am?
Yes.
No, healthy more or less, because in 69 something is starting. But generally, and I am not good because just now I'm in charge of very big 2 projects. One project is modern history of Asia. I have a team of people under me, and we're preparing. Next year we are to submit manuscript, a history of Asia, modern history. That means from late 18th century up to First World War. Second, it is 4 volumes history of India. I have 4 teams under me. We have medieval, because ancient history by Bongard Levin and Ilyin already published. So now we...
Who is going to publish that?
Who will?
Yeah.
Our Academy of Sciences publishing house. No, now we have a lot of difficulties. Also.
Now everything's changed.
Now we are on the fringe of bankruptcy in the publishing house, Academy of Sciences. But I hope, I'm optimistic we shall survive. In 2 years it will be more or less stabilized.
I remember reading the conversation that Prabhupada had with you.
Yes.
Prabhupada made the point that we also believe in communism. But and Prabhupada quoted to you the verse from the Ishopanishad. Isha Vashaidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyan Chagat. That one should have as much as he needs and not more. But Prabhupada pointed out one thing, if I may complete, which is he said that communism without God cannot work.
No, yes, it is. I understand. I agree. That is.
So today you can see.
Land, but it's difference between believers and non-believers, religious and non-religious. It is very interesting that idea of communism. But what does it mean communism? Idea of a society when social material differences would be not so acute as present. So embodied in all religions. That's very interesting. This with your movement and generally with Hindu religion as such. There's also with Islam. It is Christianity. Who was the first communist in Christianity? Jesus Christ. It is quite clear. Because all his preachers, etc., were against.
So the point that I was making is this: that communism or capitalism or socialism cannot work without God being in the center. Prabhupada's point to you was, we are not against communism at all, because even our scriptures talk about communism, just like you said Jesus Christ was a communist. Because all scriptures talk about simple living and high thinking. Man should live with minimum bodily needs so that he can devote time to worship of God. But Prabhupada's point to you was that our only difference with Marxism or Leninism is that God, the Creator, is the missing link.
Yes, not only I may think not only with Marxism, Leninism, but also with any secular, non-religious philosophy. Yes?
Yes.
Not only Marxism, but all non-religious secular philosophy.
Actually,
that is his main difference. I agree, I fully agree, that's right.
So, you can see Prabhupada's teachings were very pure, and now in this old Soviet Union, we still call it the old Soviet Union because
unfortunately
we don't like the breakup the way it is.
So do I.
Yeah. So, in the old Soviet Union, we have nearly 100 branches.
100.
Yeah, and we have about 10,000 devotees. And we are distributing thousands of books every day. So we will show you around. We have a very big...
Yes, I have looked at your books are on a very good sale. So
at Metro Station.
At Metro Station, yes, not far even from our institute. It is people are very curious.
I wouldn't say you're just curious. I feel the Russian people are very philosophical. United Nations studies have shown that Russians are the biggest readers in the world. And I read a United Nations report.
Yes, you're right.
Yes. They read more than any other country in the world. You see, there are so many 𝐾𝐈𝐸 stores in your country. There are not so many 𝐾𝐈𝐸 stores in America or anywhere.
That's right. You see, one thing one is to note that previously, before last 3-4 years, the prices of books are very low.
And now they're gone up.
Now they have come up, and I'm sure that, personally, I know, and my relatives, children, grandchildren, they don't buy now as many books as previously because of high price. Стоит много, очень много.
Очень дорого.
Очень дорого. So you started many years back to learn Russian?
No, yes. Меня русский очень плохо.
Плохо?
I just know a few.
But for you, I'm sure it was easier to learn Russian than for any West European.
But I don't know Russian.
Because Sanskrit. Russian is one of the most difficult languages in the world.
I know, you know.
I honor very much any foreigner who could take some knowledge of
Your
Russian.
grammar is очень трудно.
Очень трудно, but it is very close to Sanskrit.
Yeah, well,
I learned Sanskrit, so I know what is it.
Well,
Sanskrit
but
grammar also is awful.
But I can't speak Russian, just little.
Yes, I understand. one is to live and specialize and
I need time. I have to travel a lot. In the last 2 months, I've traveled in your country.
Oh, yes.
Only about 15 cities.
15?
Cities. I've been right from Almada to Tashkent, to Baku, to Baltic republics, to Kyiv, and tomorrow I'm going to Vladivostok.
And where is the most concentration of devotees of Krishna consciousness
in Russia?
In Moscow.
In Moscow, we have 2 buildings. One is this. One is another center in 𝐾𝐲𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐞𝐞. And then we have our publishing house here called BVT, Bhakti Book Trust.
But are you printing books here or abroad?
No, Russia.
In Russia?
We are one of the biggest publishers here now.
Yes.
We are penning millions of books.
So it is interesting that your publishing activities is much beyond the need of movement as such, as I understand. Internal need. Because how many, if you told me that in ex-Soviet, in Russia you have 10,000. It is a bigger group all over.
No, but this is only people who are chanting and practicing.
Yes.
But there are thousands who are
reading, interesting. Yes. What I mean.
Every day we sell about at least 2,000-3,000 books all over South
we have already sold more than 1 million books around the Soviet.
More than 1 million copies.
That's really big.
So, as I understand, it is a delicate question to peep into somebody's pocket.
We have no private secret.
Yes, I understand. But so this is the main source of income.
Yes.
Of how you can
Yes.
understand.
Our spiritual master wanted this movement to be supported by the sales of his books. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada wrote nearly 100 books. And these books have been translated in over 100 languages of the world. 100? Yes.
Oh,
these.
I'm printing an unedited transcript of your conversation.
Okay.
It'll take about half an hour.
Okay. You're fast. That's when the computers come in handy. So the thing is, we have these books in Chinese, and now our books are just not in Russian.
It is interesting. Is there some group?
Yes, we are now doing in all the Russian languages, Ukrainian, Kazakh, the Baltic Republic, everything.
No, I don't think.
We have prepared
you will have some success in Muslim republics. Maybe I am wrong.
No, but we are there also. I just came from Almaty, Tashkent.
But mainly maybe Russians living there. Russian speaking or local population, yes, Uzbek.
I can.
Yes.
I have one devotee from Baku, president, right in the room next door. He's Azerbaijan.
No, yes, understand.
One good thing, I won't tell you. One good thing is, you see, Krishna consciousness is universal spiritual philosophy. We are not sectarian. We don't say Christians are bad, Muslims are bad, Hindus are bad. We say God exists. God has a name. We as human beings have a duty towards God. We should live a life of spiritual discipline. We should avoid activities which are against the laws of God, like meat, fish and egg, intoxication, illicit sex life, gambling. We don't say don't, like Vishwamitra. He's a scientist working here. He's also a master's degree from Moscow University, and he's an engineer, electrical engineer. We have people of all walks of life. I myself was working in America when I joined the movement. So the point is, you can continue doing whatever ability God has given you.
Yes.
Just like you have been blessed by God. You may say you're an atheist, but I don't think you're an atheist. I think that you are deep within your heart. You do acknowledge the position of God. Otherwise, you would not have met Prabhupada.
Yes. You see, yes. No, this is, I understand, this is quite natural for your movement because, roots of Krishna consciousness is in Hindu religion. This is your
We call it the Vedic religion.
Your base.
So, please drink.
But, Krishna consciousness, you look at it as separate religion.
Then what?
Or religion movement based on Hindu religion.
We look
Nobody of them thinks they are Hindu. No.
I'll answer that.
That's very interesting.
In the entire Vedic text, There is no such word as Hindu.
Oh, yes, I know.
Okay, so we are basically followers of the Vedas or followers of a process called Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma means eternal duty of the living entity.
Yes, it's enough.
And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Aham bija pradapita. He says, I am the father of everyone. So Krishna doesn't say, I am the father of the people living in India.
I understand.
Also, as you know, at one time the whole planet was called Bharatvarsha. But today, India is a tiny portion of what it was at one time. The boundaries of India. The boundaries of countries are changing every day. The boundary of Soviet Union last year is not today anymore. So, but the India we have today is very, very small. So, Veda as you know means knowledge. So this Vedic concept or Vedic way of life is for the whole world. You just see, Dr. Kotovsky, how easily people in your country are taking to Krishna consciousness. We have no money to give them. We are, frankly, a very poor society financially. And even in America, there was no money to give people. There was no force. It's not that anybody is coming by force. It's not that any government agency has ever helped us. They've all come because they are finding it is satisfying them.
Oh yes, no, just quite.
And even though we tell people, give up meat, give up fish, give up intoxication, give up tea, coffee, give up illicit sex life, give up gambling, still they're taking to it. So that means there is some pleasure that they're getting, which is higher than the pleasure they're getting. Am I right?
No, it is absolutely. Yes, I agree with you. That's right, absolutely. When anybody is joining any religious movement, it is from this heart, from this psyche, from his spirit. It is quite obvious. It is necessary for him. He feels necessary.
Yeah.
Some kind of spiritual salvation through this process. It is quite obvious. And from my analysis, it is quite understandable why there is a revival of interest and coming into religion.
Well, I have my reasoning. My understanding is your country has very deep-rooted religious, the people of your country have deep-rooted religious feelings. For example,
religious.
Yes, religious. If you go and see the Kremlin, I have seen the Kremlin only once, few years ago. You look inside in the Kremlin, it is nothing but paintings of Jesus Christ and his devotees. So, even though for 70 years communism tried to take people away from God, it could not succeed because relationship with God is as natural as it is for a fish to desire to live in water.
You see, as non-believer, I have a bit different interpretation, but maybe consider it with you. My interpretation is, you see, all humankind passed through two developments. The basic development, as we call from scientific point of view, the development of civilization. And there is a human civilization, but there are some sub-civilizations. For instance, Christian civilization, some Indian civilization based on Hinduism, on Buddhism, because Buddha and Jain, it is some outfits of old Vedic religions, and so on and so on. But all civilizations are based on two factors. The basic factor, religion. There is no civilization without religion. And also on ethnic groups. Ethnicity plus religion. Or you may say religion plus ethnicity. And then, it is not discovered yet. I don't know how much the behavior and doings of a human being is based on what he was taught from childhood and was already in that genotype.
Okay.
But it looks like that the religion is in genotype of any human being. So I agree with you, but your interpretation be different from me as
No.
believer, I'm not believer. But even there is something, some religious feeling or feeling toward his own religion of a locality, even in heart of a non-believer, of atheist, because religion is the base of all the preceding history of his ancestors.
Okay, so is you...
So, this is so. By given circumstances, it was easy to revive religious feeling.
Okay, so going by your own definition of civilization,
Yes.
what you are saying is this, that religion cannot be separated from mankind.
Absolutely.
Fine.
No.
So we have no problem. So my point is, this is what Prabhupada was saying. Prabhupada was saying, doesn't matter whether you have communism, capitalism, socialism, but you must make God the focal point. If God is in the center, because you cannot separate religion from a man's life. After all, just like your children may be separated from you for a few years, but because there's a certain relationship of father and son, mother and son, when they get together, they're very happy and they're longing to get together. So if we keep people away from God, people will not progress morally or in terms of character. Just like, for example, today, all over the world, the character of mankind has fallen very much.
Yes.
All over the world.
Crisis of civilization.
Yeah, yesterday, I was in Leningrad, and I had a meeting with the dean of the Leningrad University Faculty of Psychology. Who did I meet? Dr.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, anyway, and I met with academicians all over the world. Everyone agrees that there is something wrong in our present educational system. That is, it leaves spiritual content, spiritual education out. And because we are giving mature education without any emphasis on spiritual education, nowhere in the world are we producing men of character. America is in a crisis, England, India, everywhere. It's just not your country. Therefore, the Ishopanishad says one must cultivate spiritual education and material education side by side.
Yes, spiritual education is very necessary. Absolutely. It may be by different ways, by different means, but it's quite necessary. From this point of view, you see, I am atheist and non-believer, but nevertheless,
I don't think you're an atheist. Shall I tell you what you are?
My attitude vis-a-vis religion is not rejection.
No.
Because
you're very mature
I am very
man.
pragmatic personality and see that revival of religion in Soviet Union, different creeds, has a positive, very positive element, most important for me, that is maybe give spiritual education. That means that people are to follow norms of good behavior.
Yeah.
See, but my criticism vis-a-vis, maybe I'm wrong, I'm critical vis-a-vis a religion or a religious prescription, where if this very prescription would, if that religious prescription wouldn't destimulate very active participation of a devotee, of a personality in struggle against sin and bad in this very world. So, religion as a role of religion, of moral education, spiritual education of person, very important. But religion is not to draw a personality away from the struggle against sin in this world. To only think people are to unite with God, everything will be automatically okay.
Actually,
and in this very world, many people who, I don't know, maybe they're false religious people, like our leader, Mr. Yeltsin, who is going and supporting from official dome Orthodox religion and going to church.
He goes to church now?
No. He announces sometimes he comes to church. Okay, I'm not against this. But if you are going to church, you are to follow policy, not to ruin people. And so on and so on.
I want to respond. In the Bhagavad Gita, we have prepared some nice vegetarian meals for you. Would you like to eat it Indian style?
You see, that would be generally a bit difficult for me because
okay.
when I was in Paris,
bring the table. No. Yeah, or maybe you can sit here with us. We can convert that chair into a table. If you don't mind, we'll convert.
I don't mind. I could say,
No.
For me, just now.
No. We have. I want to respond to what you have just...
But in India, I'm sorry to say, the overwhelming majority of Indians don't sit on the floor.
No, they sit on dining table.
They sit at dining table. Yeah.
Oh, they've become very modern.
Well, yes, even very big swamis for this Ramakrishna mission, a lot of discussions, etc. Very interesting discussion. You see, this was in 1987.
This is Śrīla, he's from Moscow. He is a very good Vedic cook.
No, I shall try, shall evaluate. Is it real Indian food or?
It is not only Indian food, this food has special. Now I want to respond to what you were saying. You please eat at the same time.
I shall take this and you will.
If you don't mind, I just took 2 hours ago. I take once a day, mainly.
Yes.
And
I also had...
No. So I will
I would not be able to take much, only very few.
Okay, make half of it.
Because...
near at the Bolshoi.
No. Just what we shall do if we show this in this way. It's too much.
So tell him to reduce it by half everything. And this we will...
Потому что большой грех. It's a very big sin nowadays to throw away food.
Yes.
When so many people are hungry.
Yeah. And
it is not only, for me, I never throw anything away.
No, you are...
No.
Это нет много, это очень мало.
No, that's too much.
Okay. Это хорошо?
Хорошо. Но это тоже много.
We will also pack and give you some to take for your wife.
It is ready like prasad.
Yes, it is real prasad, original prasad, not like. Okay, please.
Okay.
After you eat, we'll take you around. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita does not say that one should practice religion and become a lazy man in society. If you read the Bhagavad Gita, you will see that Arjuna was hesitant in participating in the battle of Kurukshetra. He was giving so many reasons why he, as a Kshatriya, should abstain from his duty. Krishna told him, you have certain duties because you are born in the warrior class, Kshatriya class. Hence, you have to engage in this battle, but the difference is, engage in this battle for my pleasure rather than for your pleasure. And then Arjuna engaged in the battle. So we in Krishna consciousness do not encourage people to become lazy people. We don't let anybody even stay in our temples who doesn't work 8 hours a day.
Not very good.
Our spiritual master said, Prabhupada said, this is not a free hotel for sleeping and eating. So all our devotees get up 3:30 every morning. They follow a spiritual program till 8:30. Then in the daytime, they go and distribute books. Some of our members work on jobs like he's a scientist, and other people. And then in the evening they come back again. And we don't kill animals, we don't smoke, we don't drink. In your country, when people can't get cigarettes, they take a big procession to Red Square. But we don't have that problem. People have no money to eat, but they must buy vodka. Like in India, no money to eat in villages, but they must buy liquor.
But how many people, how many persons are living here and don't doing secular work? Yes, but
we have about 120, 130 people living full time.
120?
No. But that doesn't include the Matajis. Okay, but son, Tolka это знание. У нас есть другие, наша проблема здесь, у нас есть много комната, много людей готов живут наш ашрам, когда у нас есть еще комната. If we had another building like this, we could fill it up in 1 week.
But it is necessary to have about 100 persons who will What do they do? They mean selling books?
No, we will tell you what.
What work? What kind of work do they?
They do so much work that in the night when they go to sleep, they just lie down on the bed and they fall asleep.
Okay, but what work?
Yes, some of them are cooking, some of them are cleaning the temple. Some of them are going on the streets from house to house telling people about God.
Yes, understand.
How many people live in Moscow? How many? What is Moscow?
10 million.
Moscow's population is 10 million.
Even more. With suburbs, it is about 12 million.
Okay. So 12 million people have to be woken up to God consciousness.
Yes, understand.
You think 100 people are enough?
No.
Not enough.
Oh, that you have put an answer. What do they do?
So I'm saying, they go house to house. They go from morning to night telling people to rectify their life. We tell people.
But what is the experience? When a member of Krishna consciousness community is coming, Krishna is coming, how people react if
in society?
In society, when he is approaching somebody not known,
good
reaction or
I'll tell you,
some
I find,
style.
because you see, I have traveled all over the world. I work in America, Canada, India, Russia, and Africa. And I find the people of your country very respectful to religious people. Many times when I travel, they don't even look at my passport. They don't even look at the visa, many times. And people are very, even when I travel in plane, we give prasad to pilots, air hostesses, they take it with pleasure. No hesitancy at all. The Americans are more puffed up, more proud. You know, if you go in America and offer someone prasad on the airplane, they'll think, oh, maybe there's poison inside. But the Russians are by and large more pure-hearted. So in my analysis, communism was a blessing and a curse. It was a curse in that it kept people away from God. It was a blessing in that it prevented the Russians from becoming corrupted in character like the Westerners have become.
Unfortunately,
now it's happening.
Too many people, not even
but not like the West.
Certain social layers of society were very corrupted. Starting with our leader, late Comrade Brezhnev, and his family is most corrupted, maybe most corrupted political family in the world.
You mean, the whole family?
The whole family. It is a Polichinelle secret. Everybody knows very well.
Well,
by the way, Professor, I wanted to put you a question. Maybe you know that nowadays a lot of scientists they come to the conclusion that this Darwin's theory of evolution is wrong. For example, there were several articles in journals of Professor Trostnikov. And in his articles, Professor Trostnikov proves very, very scientifically, very logically, that Darwin's theory of evolution is illogical, has a lot of mistakes, and in principle it cannot explain the origins of life. Understand this? Also, Bhaktivedanta Institute makes the same researches. And from this point of view, what is your position? Maybe you have some doubts. What is the origin of life?
You see,
you can get into discussion maybe.
I am not natural scientist. So it is very difficult for me. I have no my own theory on this.
Yeah, he is not the right person.
I may, to my mind, you know, what is very contradictory to real science, to make some portion of science or some theory, scientific theory, an absolute. So from this point of view, Darwin's theory was invented in the middle 19th century. I'm absolutely convinced, what I have read, etc., that's maybe some framework, etc., of Darwin's theory, the evolution of species, etc., this was proved, proved by some research of zoologists, etc. But I'm sure I agree that Darwin's theory is nothing with the origin of life.
No.
And origin of life, how life was originated, how was developed on early stages, it is not unknown. No, religious people, they believe that was creation of God.
Yes.
Non-religious people, no, they don't agree with these people, but so far it was not explained. So far, there are many basic factors in the life of our globe from the very beginning, which is not yet explained. Maybe it would never be explained in secular way. But it doesn't mean that theory of Darwin is wrong. Theory of Darwin has explained many phenomena of development of life, but it couldn't explain everything. First of all, origin. That I agree, that's right. But I never demand from a theory,
Some more.
I have taken much from a theory to explain everything.
A little bit more.
I don't believe it is a funny thing in Hegel's theory of absolute truth. Absolute truth in science.
So you can have a discussion on this another.
Every new generation knows that the science is developing, and every theory is being changed, added, or dismantled every minute.
Yes.
Because
The Vedas explain there are two types of knowledge. Relative knowledge, absolute knowledge. Absolute knowledge doesn't change with the passage of time. But relative knowledge, which comes from scientists, philosophers, academicians, politicians, they change. Like just like all the laws which were passed previously by communist government are now being changed by the new government. So therefore we believe in absolute knowledge and not relative knowledge. This is Dr. Kotovsky, a professor.
No more thinking professional.
Maybe next week when I come, I may want to meet Dr. Bernard Levin also. If you can get his phone number.
It's very easy. You pray. If you would agree, you will come. You maybe see him. No, today telephone to him from I have. Telephone didn't answer, but maybe he went out for Dutch.
You telephoned him today?
Yes, I have telephone no answer during lunchtime. But it doesn't mean, no, maybe he's in sanatorium somewhere, I don't know. But he came from France. It was about 10th or 12th of June.
Okay.
And after I had a telephone talk with him about 16 times, something like about, I shall say exactly 20th of this month, before I went for UK.
Well, we hope that we'll be able to see you on a regular basis. We feel you're a very intelligent gentleman.
Regular basis, not very much interest for you to see me on regular basis.
Whenever we feel that you encourage Prabhupada by the dialogue you had with Prabhupada. Prabhupada was very happy about his meeting with you, and he spoke about it many times. He mentioned your name.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, he mentioned your name in many of his lectures. In my meeting with Dr. Kotovsky, so you're very
unexpectedly, I got direct into Krishna consciousness.
Yes. So that is why I said you're not an atheist. You are, in the core of your heart, a devotee of the Lord. But because...
member of our movement.
No. But because you grew up in an environment where the word atheism was very much propagated. Everyone likes to think he's an atheist.
Yes. Atheism was very much...
You grew up in that atmosphere.
Even imposed.
Yes, because I know that if people were God conscious, if they were going to church, they would not get promotions. And the KGG was keeping a list of everyone going to church. When I came in
I don't think to church, but to Orthodox Church, not. Orthodox Church, because Orthodox Church at the time was very linked with government.
Yes.
I don't think so. But other religions, more alien to old Russia, like yours movement, it was very much suspect.
In 76, when I was wherever I would go, they would be following me behind me.
Oh, yes, I believe.
I knew when they were behind me. You didn't try the sweet.
I'm not yet, yes.
Sometimes you can even bring your wife here, because we have a nice cultural activities here also.
This is not much of oil. But speaking, the traditional Mithai offered like prasad. I don't like very much because too much
This
of
is not
oil.
with oil.
Too much of oil.
I don't use any oil at all.
Especially with Sikh. Oh, their prasad is very heavy, very difficult to consume. When I was on Amritsar, also I was offered. But it was a pain for me because difficult to consume, very heavy, very much of
Our
oil.
prasad was much light.
Well, I don't take any oil at all, so this is...
No? Oil? But the ghee, you consume it?
I don't take even a drop of ghee.
Neither ghee nor oil. But how can you survive? Because balanced diet is to take proteins and some fat.
Well, I'm surviving by God's grace.
No, see, but as vegetarian food is a good one. In fact, we, with my wife, we have become nearly vegetarian because we're not vegetarians as such, but
in practice.
In practice, for the last months, I haven't consumed in my house vegetables, milk products we take. Yes, very rarely, and very interesting. And I become, when I was younger, yes, strong, etc. Meat was necessary, but not now.
But meat is not necessary for health.
Yes, I agree with you.
In fact, many Americans...
to be in France very difficult because they take too much of meat and...
In France.
With blood, it's bloodish state.
That means, another sign, in the core of your heart you're a devotee. You don't like cruelty on animals. That is another sign of somebody... Because, as an
you're right, very interesting, because I'm not a Hindu,
You don't have to be...
against cows' laughter, etc. But generally, you're right. Sometimes you take food, but if you would recollect in that very moment to build up a vision before you of a cow being slaughtered, or chicken when you throw it, you can't take more.
If somebody pinches you, if somebody, when you're walking on the road, on the metro, and somebody steps on your feet, you get so angry.
Right.
And when we slaughter, we say animals have no soul. The Christian doctrine that animals have no soul is completely unfounded. Animals eat, sleep, defend, and mate, just like any human being does. How can you say animals have no soul? And of all the animals, the cow is the most innocent of all animals. You see the cow gives you milk. The cow eats grass, that's all. In goes grass, out comes milk. That is the stool of the cow dung. It is so pure, it contains antiseptic qualities. It is used for cooking. It is used for medicine purposes. The urine of the cow is used in Ayurvedic medicine. And even after the cow dies, a natural death, the flesh is used for so many useful purposes. So all types of crime, the two most serious crimes in human society today are killing of the innocent cow and killing of the child in the womb, in the form of abortion.
Yes, but unfortunately, this abortion, there are some social consequences. I agree with you from a humanitarian point of view, it is a sin. But what to do?
There is something to do. Like our members don't have abortions. Our members don't eat meat. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, also sex life that is not contrary to religious principles. Sex life has a purpose. Purpose is you produce children for God. You have sex life under certain scriptural directions. Of course, even if people don't want to follow the highest standard, but at least they can still avoid, abortions, which is taking life away. There's enough evidence to show how life starts, not when the child comes out of the mother's womb. Life starts from the time of conception. Actually, when the child comes out of the mother's womb, he's already 9 months old. But we say, no, he's 1 day old. Should you like to wash your hands? We would like to show you around a little bit.
Yes. It is 5:20.
Yeah.
That's because there are something...
Yes, that's okay. We'll wash the hands and then show you around.
Okay, with pleasure, I shall see you.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare